trailer you just saw shows the expedition team arriving in a new locale known as the Oilwell Basin.
Knock, knock, motherfucker. It's the United States of America, and I hear you guys got oil that isn't under my possession. So turn off the stove and return the oil to me before I have to resort to bringing democracy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a brand new type of video for you all today, because Monster Hunter Wilds has just done their newest showcase that brings a brand new trailer featuring 6 monsters, as well as a release date for the open beta test. In this video I'll be covering the new trailer and breaking it down piece by piece, but I'll have another video out very shortly covering the Monster Hunter Wilds open beta. Just before we get into the video, feel free to skip to any point in the video as timestamps and chapters will be provided, so feel free to skip to whatever point you want to go to. But let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. So this Monster Hunter Wilds showcase began by giving us a brand new trailer that features a new locale called the Oilwell Basin. This locale essentially acts like the volcanic / fiery new locale for Monster Hunter Wilds. The Oilwell Basin is a volcanic region where oil wells and raging fires burn. The environment consists of 3 stages, one being obviously an oiled period where there's oil everywhere. The second is where the oil's burning and actually turns into a very fiery and blazing part of the environment. And the third is like a calm, rustic looking thing. We only got one picture of it so far, as you guys can see up here. There are 3 quite distinct variations of the map. The trailer begins by showing us the player likely first arriving in the Oilwell Basin. In the Oilwell Basin is Azuz, a village that holds a large tribe of people that have built their entire village around what they call the Everforge. We'll get back to that in a minute. We are then greeted by the people of Azuz, and we begin to explore the Oilwell Basin. After we begin exploring this very intriguing locale, we get a glimpse of a few small monsters that live in the Oilwell Basin. We have no confirmed names yet, but the first of these 2 monsters appear to be a sort of drone that has a very large rock-like head. Not a normal head like most other drones, but as you guys can see, its head seems to be entirely made out of rock. Then we see this other small monster that is actually eating, that's basically like a large salamander, really, that looks like it's swam in oil. So those are 2 cool little monsters. The hunter then grabs this item with their slinger and drinks it. I think this could be like a sort of natural cold drink, or perhaps possibly even a natural antidote or potion. Either way, it appears that this is a natural replacement for some sort of consumable, whether that's cold drink, antidote, or potion. It would make sense that it's cold drink though, since we're in a hot environment. Capcom then shows us the first new large monster of the Oilwell Basin, called the Rompopolo. As you guys can see, this monster is actually the one that was featured a while back during the hammer showcase, through the armor and the hammer design. Definitely not what I imagined it to look like. I've kind of thought it would be more like a poisonous raven type monster, but it's a cool design nonetheless. So ugly that I love it. This mosquito from Australia is actually a brute wyvern, and the second new brute wyvern that they have showcased thus far alongside Chemetrice. We get a good look at what the fight might look like when fighting Rompopolo, as it appears to use its its gas sat. Okay, it uses the bulbous air containing appendages on the Rompopolo's body to excrete the odd gas onto the... I'm sorry, that did not sound much better. Moving on. I'm unsure whether it could be a sleep or a poison type gas, or if it's something completely unique to it, but there's no clips in the trailer that show the hunter being tired or asleep, so I'm gonna assume it's a poison gas of sorts. Oh yeah, it can also use the barb on the end of its tail to spray its gas into the ground, causing the oil around it to explode and damage the hunter. That sounds like a fun ability. Then out of nowhere, a new monster fights and begins a turf war with the Rompopolo. This monster is an invading monster that is also a fanged beast monster type. That is actually a monkey. And when it becomes enraged, they become very powerful when enraged. No, I'm not talking about Rajang, I'm talking about Ajarakan. It's a new fanged beast monster that obviously appears to be very similar to Vol'jang and Rajang. Like a little too similar. And yes, when they become enraged, they can ignite their shell on their backs through friction to engulf it in flames. Huh, also sounds familiar, doesn't it? Long story short, they're basically an invader monster that if you took Rajang and fire and photoshopped it, bam, you've got a Ajarakan. But there is something different. They do look like they might be a pack hunting monster, as in this clip here later in the trailer we do see two of them fighting at once. So that might actually have them being a pack monster, and I don't know whether that's very fun or very not fun. Then the Azuz people try to start up the Everforge, something that I assume is a big event for them, as it seems to only happen once or possibly every certain number of years. Not too sure, but either way, they're extremely excited to see a flame. The Everforge appears to be connected to the rest of the environment in the Oilwell Basin, so it essentially acts as a temporary volcanic-like biome as we see in the trailer. Here's a great idea. Let's create a huge forge in a place that is literally made of oil and then light it on fire to see what happens. It sounds like a fantastic idea to me, no flaws whatsoever. But hidden in this trailer was a very small Easter egg right here. I'll give you 5 seconds to see if you can see what I found. Probably not. Maybe you did. If you did, you are good at seeing things. Not what I meant. Because up here near the top right corner is a pretty large web that could really only belong to 2 possible monsters. Rachna Kadaki from Monster Hunter Rise or Nerscylla from Monster Hunter 4. Now both have lived in warmer/volcanic biomes, similar to the Oilwell Basin, with Nerscylla inhabiting the sunken hollow in which she lived inside the dormant volcano in that environment, and Rachna Kadaki prefers warmer climates, so this is as much confirmation as you get without outright confirming the monster. But I think it's safe to say we are getting at least one of these 2 Temnocerans in the Oilwell Basin. After that, they show us something that I think might be one of my favorite things shown so far. Apart from the monsters, of course, because obviously monsters take the cake. Environmental traps. That's right, not just falling boulders we have seen dozens of times, but we are also getting designed traps assumedly made by the Azuz people. Can't wait to see what other traps there might be hidden in the Oilwell Basin, because this seems like a very nice and fun addition to the gameplay loop in Monster Hunter. Another little Easter egg in this trailer, we see a hunter using what appears to be an insect glaive of sorts. But it isn't any normal weapon. No, it looks like a syringe. I wonder what monster has that type of equipment. Yup, Rompopolo so far seems to have a very Doctor/Plague Doctor themed armor and weapon set, so the spear is extremely fitting. I love it. And now the Everforge is malfunctioning? Oh no, the Everforge is malfunctioning. It's like lighting a gigantic forge connected to an environment that's entirely made of oil is a bad idea. Long story short, the Everforge apparently malfunctions or does something that wasn't supposed to happen, I guess, I don't know. But that's not important. What is important is this motherfucker. This thing is gonna be the apex of the Oilwell Basin, and it looks awesome. You can't tell me that having an octopus/kraken thing, whatever it is, that is covered in oil and uses it to inflame its prey and other hunters to death isn't awesome. So far, we do not have an official species name, so it is only known to us as the Black Flame. And, what is this creature exactly? No one knows. I first thought it was Nikarkos, but it isn't because it's a brand new monster which I'm really excited for. but I don't think that this thing is an Elder Dragon. But the two closest monsters that resemble it happen to be Elder Dragons, even though the Yamazukami and Nakarkos aren't dragons at all, but whatever, they're still classified as Elder Dragons. So I think that this is going to be a monster with a brand new class, or possibly even expanding on the amphibian or carapacean monster types to include this eldritch horror as well. We get a few glimpses of the Black Flames fight, but nothing much. It's still quite a mystery to us. It can apparently pick up monsters because, you know, that's cool. And it can pick up one Ajarakan with one tentacle, because it picks up two things. This thing is fucking massive. Oh yeah, we also get to see its eyes, which are a really, really nice blue. And it uses the holes on... I'm sorry. It uses the holes on its tentacle, which I think spray out oil. I'm sorry, I'm so immature. Actually, after doing a bit of research, it seems that he actually uses the ink sac on the back of its head to spray on the oil, which is extremely similar to a real-life octopus. And that is pretty much it from the trailer. We also get a small flashback of sorts from the past that seems to connect the Black Flame to a deep secret connection to the Everforge, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and actually play the game to see what this is about. My guess is that the Black Flame is attracted by the immense heat emitted from the Everforge. Like I said earlier, I think that it is lit every so often or just goes off every so often, whatever, which attracts the Black Flame, but we will see. And that is all for this trailer breakdown, folks. Let me know what you think down below. I love the concept of this locale so much, and I think it is just as, if not more unique than the Coral Highlands and Rotten Vale. So it might be my favorite environment revealed so far. But this is going to change up a lot of my predictions I have planned for my Monster Hunter Wilds prediction video. So I'm curious to see how they will incorporate returning monsters into this biome. Maybe we can see Nerscylla and Kezu get Oilwell Basin variants, where Kezu is covered in oil and lights it on fire. Maybe even a turf war between the two. Who knows? But that is all for this video, folks. What do you guys think? I am in love with the new Oilwell Basin biome. I love the designs of all the monsters so much, and I can't wait to see how they incorporate returning monsters into the biome. Crossing my fingers for Kezu and Nerscylla, but we will see. So let me know what you guys think down below, and if you have found any other Easter eggs in the trailer, let me know in the comments below. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, and all that jazz. And please, don't tell America about the Oilwell Basin. Goodbye.